So I'm going to have to be quiet now as I talk because it's very late at night. It's very late at night, and what you just saw pictures of, that's what I've been fighting for the last 3 to 5 days. That particular species of wasp is called a guinea wasp, and they have a very, very painful sting. And they seem to have set up in the wall of my bathroom. The first day I fought these guys, I got stung about 9 times, different places, even on my face. Of course, the marks look really, really horrible when you first get stung, but they do heal up pretty fast. But they swell up about the size of a ping pong ball in some cases. So lots of Benadryl. I got it under control. But yeah, it started to. I'll tell you more in a little bit. My wife has to go off to her school here in a little bit, and then I can speak a little louder. But yeah, these things have not been fun to fight. And I'll tell you about it. I'll film the rest in the morning. I just got through with another round. We got the bulk of them killed off. I had to literally spray this room down with poison, every surface of this room, simply because here's what it would happen is you would spray the poison, and the smell of the poison would drive them nuts in the walls, and they'd just start coming out. And so they started coming out around the top of the bathtub. The wall at the back of the tub is where they're in, and it's got a little rod on the bottom. And they found that way out, and I have been fighting these things. We got them down to maybe 1 or 2 wasps every once in a great while now. And when I kick the wall, there's no more buzzing, so yeah. But I made the mistake of trying to fight them from the great outdoors. And I didn't know exactly how they were getting in, so I just threw a rock against the wall to see where they actually piled out. And that was a mistake. Guinea wasps will swarm. And if one bites you, I guess it's a pheromone they give off. Once you get one bite on you, the whole damn nest comes out. And buddy, that's not fun. And apparently, whatever they mark you with, they know that you're the one that attacked their nest after that, because when I went back inside the house, no matter where I was in the house, if there was one loose, the damn thing would sting me, So, yeah. So we got medieval on them. I got like 6 or 7 cans of wasp and hornet spray, and I got the foaming stuff, and I just went to town on them. And they would start to swarm, and I'd have to start shooting them down, and but we got them. There's still a few, but there aren't as many as there were before, not by a long shot. But the ones that you just saw in those slides were just a few, man. I've already cleaned that tub 1 time. And the first bunch that I killed, what I did, I sprayed along that tub edge at the wall where they were coming out. And they piled through that foam trying to get out, and they died. And the tub was black with them. And this is weird because just a few days ago, there were no sounds or anything in that wall, and nothing coming out. Nothing moving. And then just all of a sudden, man, the whole wall was humming. And she was in here, and she's like, "There's a wasp in here." So we had some little ant roach type spray, and I told her just pick that up and shoot them, and she did, and that one was done. And then another one came out, and she shot that one. She finished up in here and got ready for school and headed out. I came in here, and there was one floating in here, and so I shot it with the regular spray, and it went down, and another one came out. This is very, very 1 or 2 every so often. So like, there must be a nest near that back window or something. But the spray was very ineffective, and their numbers gradually increased to 2 or 3 at a time. So I got the hornet spray. I don't know what the difference is in the chemical in the hornet spray versus the ant and roach spray, but when I hit them with that stuff, the whole nest came alive, man. I started getting 5 and 6 and 7, and pretty soon I had a lot of them in here. And there are 2 things that they would do. When it was just a couple of them, they'd pop around that light. Man, they were hitting that light like crazy. So I sprayed around that light. They go up there and hit it, and they drop. But I mean, they were getting bad. And I finally got their numbers down in here. I closed the door and went outside, trying to find an opening where they were getting in and out, from outside, because they obviously did it from outdoors. So I sprayed. The first thing I did was I chucked a little pebble against the wall, and man, that woke them up. By the way, those are guinea wasps. You do not want to be stung by those. They hurt like hell. And I got stung by them. Like I said, and they will chase you. They're kind of like hornets, regular old red wasp. He'll sting you, and his buddies might, but they go back to their nest. Those damn guinea wasps, they're like hornets. They will chase you, and they will chase you a long way. They're very aggressive. If you encounter them, best to wait at night if the nest is small. If the nest is in the wall, I wouldn't recommend what I did to anybody to do what I'm doing. But I don't have any money at the moment, so I have to do this the best I can. And this was the stuff I used. This is one of them. This is the foaming stuff. Originally, I had the oil stuff. I had the bangle stuff, which was knocking them down. But, after the liquid runs off, they can get in, get out. The foaming stuff leaves a residue, and it kills them as they crawl through it. But anyway, yeah, every once in a while, I think I hear one in here. Those little bastards hurt. And the other interesting thing about guinea wasps is, unlike a red wasp, it'll just, it'll get you, pop you. It's almost a straight shot. Those little bastards will get around behind you. You don't want to ever let them get around behind you. But, yeah, it's been a hectic few days, We had our trip to Houston. I came back, and the bulk of them were dead, but there's still a few floating about. But there was not really any buzzing for like 2 or 3 days. This right after we got in from Houston. Actually, that was yesterday. We got in from Houston yesterday. We spent one night, and I poisoned this place really good when we left. And that was when I came home to find the second wave of them dead in the bathtub, And no noise from the nest anymore. Very quiet. There's probably living larvae in there, but I'm fixing to finish that off. I'm going to drill a couple of holes in that plywood wall. It's just too small for the wasps to get in, but small enough that I can get an airbrush nozzle in there. And I'm going to fill the jar of the airbrush with 7 dust. And I'm going to blow it up in that wall. And they will track that poison all over their nest, and everything in there will die. That's all I can do. Now the other thing I've been using, and this works really good. If you need a pistol, just take you a water thing like this. This is Dawn soap. This is about a 1/4 cup of Dawn soap in with water, or actually about a 1/4 of this with water. And also in it is peppermint oil extract. Very, very concentrated peppermint oil, about 40-50 drops. Set it so that it's a reasonably narrow cone, so that your margin of error is better. Because you want good spread. You want it like a shotgun, because those little buggers can move, and you would want your shots to count. When this hits them, after you get them a couple of times with this, they drop like a rock. So that works. But that's what I've been doing today. And earlier today, during daylight, I've been coming in and out of here, checking to see if anything still lives. And I've just been fighting them. Anyway, I got stung. Let's see, on the wrist, on the shoulder, 2 times on the shoulder, 2 times on my elbow. Let's see, several other places. Where else did they get me? Let's see. Got once on the hand, once on the face, once on the pinky on my left hand. While I was actually talking on the phone, I thought I had finished fighting them, and one made it into the computer room and popped me right on the hand. A couple other places on my back, total 9 stings. Total 9 stings. And what happens, it does hurt when they sting you. It hurts pretty bad, but then it goes away pretty quick. But then the muscle pain sets in because there's venom in there, and you'll start getting arthritic pain, like where they got me on my pinky. That swole up almost the size of a ping pong ball, and all the joints in that finger, it was like there was sand in them, man. It's arthritic. And everywhere there was a joint near a sting, those started to hurt because the venom was spreading around. And then the swelling began, and the swelling was awful. And then the muscle pain began. And that subsided, and that hurts like hell. It's a kind of muscle pain I can't describe. There's nothing quite like it. But we went through that. I took some Benadryl, and that knocked it down. But Benadryl, I took about 50 milligrams of Benadryl. If you're not allergic, about 50 milligrams. And took about 400 milligrams of ibuprofen to ease the inflammation. And they healed right up within a day or two. You can't tell where they are except for some little red marks where they punched, But anyway, so that's what we've been doing, or what I've been doing. Allison's scared to death of them, and I don't blame her. She got stung, what was it she got stung with not long ago? She got popped with a hornet, and she'd never been stung by a hornet before, and those hurt. But these little guinea wasps are a special kind of flying hate. And they hurt way more than any hornet I've ever been popped by, so yeah. So my fight goes on. Actually, there won't be a segment at the end. I've pretty much told you the whole story. My friend Sticks wanted me to talk about it. He's like, why didn't you film it while you were fighting? I said, because I needed both hands to fight them little bastards. So you got a hand to swat and a hand to spray, until you can get away from them. And, I can't be encumbered by a camera in my hand while I'm trying to fight things that are trying to sting my face and eyes and body. You have to make exceptions for practicality. So there's all of the video that I have. You guys get to see the aftermath. And that's not even all of them that there were. So it's like I said, I've already attempted some cleanup, so the bulk of them are gone now. This is the second wave, what you guys see here. And now I'm going to clean again, and we're going to fight again. But this time, instead of using that very vile hornet spray, because when you spray it in a little room like this, you can't come in here for a couple of days easily and breathe right. We're going to use this, because I found that this works damn near instantly. So, and I'm surprised because I was paying $2 to $7 for these hornet sprays that only give you a little bit of go for your money. And yeah, they do kill, and they kill quick, but what are they doing to us? We have to exist around this poison, and it's not easily cleaned off of everything. In fact, everything I have in here got covered in poison. Razor blades for shaving, toothpaste, toothbrushes, because you're in the battle. You don't have time to carry that crap out to make it safe to spray it around. You're in a battle with them. Like I said, what I've showed you is only a fraction of what was in here. You're in a battle with them, and the collateral damage from spraying all that potent toxin around is your shampoos, your toothbrushes, your shaving gear, because you got to fight them. If you don't fight them, you're gonna get stung. When they're on the move, they're after you. So that's what we did, and I've got to rinse the stuff that you would put in your mouth or on your face, like razor blades, toothpaste, toothbrushes, anything like that. We just threw it away because there's no way you can clean that stuff to make it safe again. But the stuff that's closed in bottles, like shampoos and soaps and other things with relatively featureless surfaces, I can clean those, so all of that stuff is going to be cleaned, so we won't lose that stuff. But I can tell you right now, if you can help it, and the only reason they did this here is because they made no sound. I had no idea they were even in that wall until they reached a critical mass. I had no idea. We've been in here, how many times a day do you go to the bathroom every day, we were in here and we never heard a thing. Once in a great while, you would see a red wasp, and those are easy to kill, and they tend to leave you alone. We never saw a guinea wasp until about 5 or so days ago. And then that wall came alive, man. You could hear them buzzing. I think they may have actually moved into the attic as well, because it seemed like they were coming in through that light fixture too. Now those, I can wait till winter. Winter comes around, I'm going to get up there to rewire some stuff. Finish my wiring job. It's going to be cold up there because there's 2 gable vents on that attic. And it's going to drop below freezing, and they are going to die. The soldiers anyway. The larvae or the eggs will remain. They'll winter over. But they're not going to make it through the winter, because I'm going to go up there and I am going to engage in some carnage. And before I get stung in here, another one pops up in here, I'm going to let you guys go because I've got some killing to do. Take care.